Significant technological and scientific breakthroughs have recently revealed new facts and evidence that confirm the accuracy and authenticity of many passages throughout the Bible. Unlocking Ancient Secrets of the Bible highlights these new technologies as well as recent archaeological finds to substantiate several stories, statements, and historical notations found throughout the Bible. Each example of this is presented by accredited scholars and experts in their fields. While not a review of the entire Bible, this documentary establishes the verifiable scientific truth of certain sections of the Bible that millions have already accepted on faith, but can now prove with hard facts as well. Was the earth created in a single moment? Could Eve actually be the mother of all humanity? And is there hardcore scientific proof that Noah's great flood actually occurred? You're about to find out as we unearth some of the most spectacular evidence ever seen.
Scratched out on 3 continents in 3 languages by 40 different authors over a course of 1,500 years, no collection of ancient writings is as widely read, closely cherished, and critically examined as the Bible. But are the words in this historic book the very words of God? Did the stories found in the Bible actually take place? And is there any tangible evidence that we can actually hold in our hands that proves the Bible is true? You're about to find out. Appropriately, our investigation begins with the most famous line in written history. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But is this believable? Did an all-powerful God create the universe? What does modern science say about this question?
Well, basically, you have to believe that matter has always existed, or it was created.
Today, the evidence overwhelmingly supports the Big Bang theory. Imagine for a moment all that exists in the vast universe, every mountain range, every forest, every body of water, every distant planet, everything, squeezed into a microscopic point of beginning. Scientists say the universe exploded and began from that initial point.
As the universe has expanded, it's cooled. Anything that expands cools. And right now the universe has a temperature of 3 degrees above zero. We detect this radiation as microwave radiation.
Observatories at the South Pole measure the distribution of microwaves through space and provide information regarding the very early conditions of the universe.
And so the Big Bang is not a theoretical idea, it's something we're observing and measuring.
The best scientific evidence suggests the universe began, thereby confirming the words of Genesis.
And there is compelling scientific evidence that this biblical story of Adam and Eve actually is history.
Can every single human being, past, present, and future, trace their family tree back to an original man and woman?
And the scientific community actually refers to this genetic Adam that they have found as the Y chromosome Adam, and they refer to the mitochondrial DNA woman as Eve, and this is referred to in the scientific literature as the Garden of Eden hypothesis.
They took mitochondrial sequences from a number of different ethnic groups around the globe and determined that everyone has descended from one female
Could this female be Eve, the first woman created in the book of Genesis? The evidence is compelling.
Could also go back and look at the Y chromosomes, and you could trace a lineage through the Y chromosomes to Adam. And the idea is basically the same. Looking at differences in the Y chromosome sequence, scientists did take a look at this. In fact, many have taken a look at this and determined that, yes, we all came from probably one individual.
Here, our investigation moves from scientific conjecture to the flesh, blood, and bone of creation.
What's interesting is that the apex, the climax of that creation, the last thing mentioned as created, after everything else is prepared for him, is Adam. And it says that Adam is created out of the dust of the ground and out of the breath of God. And what that tells us is that, yes, human beings are a part of creation like everything else. But it also says that we have, and that Adam had, a special relationship with God.
According to the Bible, Adam was made responsible for all that was on earth and enjoyed an intimate relationship with nature. Although Adam walked in perfect harmony with creation, he was not complete.
When Adam and Eve first met each other, God brought the woman to the man. And Adam seems to be ecstatic that he has found now a counterpart. And it's interesting because he finds her right after he's named all the animals. So it's fresh in his mind that there's nobody like him until he meets her.
When Adam was created, he wasn't created like a robot. Adam had free will. So there was a question whether or not he would obey God or not.
Ancient desert cultures highly valued the tantalizing taste of fruit. It's no accident the book of Genesis uses the image of a fruit tree to signify knowledge.
They're at this tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the serpent, who is named Shiny, Eve is smitten by him, and he tempts her.
The serpent employed a strategy he would revisit. He questioned the reliability of God's word.
And so now when the serpent is tempting Eve, the serpent says, oh, is it really true that, you're not supposed to eat of any of the trees of the garden? And then Eve says, well, let me put it straight. She says, we're not supposed to eat or touch of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
And that's the function of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which God told Adam not to eat of. Here's the point. There's nothing really inherently evil about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. What it involves is the question, will Adam obey God, even when he might not understand the reasons why? Or will he think he knows better than God and eat the fruit?
As punishment for their disobedience, God exiled Adam and Eve from the garden. They were forced to live outside God's close protection and enter the harsh reality of broken communion. According to the book of Genesis, the fall from grace initiates a time of unprecedented evil. Turmoil and violence run roughshod over the earth. Brother murders brother. This is the backdrop for one of the most controversial stories in the Old Testament, the story of Noah and his ark.
When we come to the time of Noah, God has been patient up to this particular point, but now he determines to put an end to sinful humanity by means of a flood.
I will bring flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, and everything that is on the earth shall die.
Noah obeyed God and prepared his family. Noah's family filled the boat with food and gathered the animals that would soon repopulate the earth. Initially skeptical, the people of Noah's day plead for mercy. It was too late, as God closed the door to the ark.
The Old Testament uses the cubit as length measure, and a cubit stands for a foot